Hey guys, GSG here. I'm going to do a little crafting video on how I like to do my crafting on all my gear. So I'm going to go through my stock, my suit and my headpiece, and then hopefully I'll give you some tips on what you guys can do. Now the type of ghillie suit I like to wear is the North Mountain ghillie suit, mainly because it's quite light, it's quite easy to breathe in it, especially in the summer, and it's very easy to craft onto as well. My North Mountain suit is mostly brown, as you can see. And onto my suit I've added some leaves to help bulk out that shape. As well as that, you've also got some raffia to give it a bit more of a green grassy look, and there's also some light colour raffia with a bit of spray paint on, and that comes across as more of a twig type look. And then you've got the green summer leaves on there as well. In addition to that, you've also got some hairbands, which you may be able to see. I tend to use those to put in some real stuff when I go to game day, and that also just helps you blend in with the environment a little bit more and also helps you bulk it out. So we'll start off talking about leaves. You can buy leaves online from websites such as eBay, Wish, Amazon, and they tend to come in three main colours, which is green, orange and red. Wouldn't recommend getting these red ones, as when you go through the dyeing process they find it quite difficult to stick onto that dye and change colour. However, the green and the orange ones work quite well. When you've got the green and orange ones in the dye, it's good to keep an eye on them, and they can end up coming out in different shades of brown, which work quite well. And obviously the leaves out in the environment are all different shades of brown anyway, so that tends to be quite good. As well as brown leaves, you might want to add some green leaves. Now in my local area, we tend to have a lot of oak leaves. So these are really good, which I got from eBay. I tend to use them, they work really well. And also we have a lot of ivy. So these are pretty good as well. These I got from a local shop. Any sort of fake plants tend to work quite well, as long as they're not too shiny, because then that can give away the fact that they're obviously not real. Now obviously you want to be adding other types of material to your suit other than leaves. I find raffia is quite good. This is quite a light raffia, so when it's on the suit I tend to spray it brown, and then that gives it quite that twig look, and it works really well in terms of splitting it up and bulking out your suit a little bit more. Another good material I like to use is this cheap netting. You can get hold of this on eBay in massive bulks. I like to cut it up into little shapes, and when I'm putting it on the suit I sort of scrunch it up and it bulks out that suit a little bit more to get rid of that human shape. You can also dye these quite well, so they can end up being different colours. So this is my headpiece. As you can see, it's just a little black strap that goes around the head. I added the leaves on here with a hot glue gun. I used some of the brown leaves that I dyed, and then I also added on some of the green leaves as well, the oak leaves, just to help blend in a bit more with the summer. I've also got some green raffia on here. They're really good for grassy looks, and they split off quite well, so you can add more of effect to that. And then I've also got some more of that netting on here, just to give it a bit more of a different texture and bulk it out a little bit more. And lastly, with my gun stock, which you can see here in the background, I used some North Mountain strips, and that was to help it blend in with my suit a little bit better. And then on top of that I added some more brown leaves, some more oak leaves and some more of the cheap netting, and I think it works really well. Okay, so I'm now going to show you very quickly how I like to do a bit of crafting. Okay, so at the start of my crafting video we have some dyed leaves, we've got some cheap netting, we've got some green oak leaves, some green raffia, some normal raffia and a hairband. Okay, so we're going to start off crafting off this little bit of material here. First of all, I'm going to grab one of the leaves, a little bit of netting and a zip tie. I'm going to pop the zip tie through the leaf, through the little bit of netting, onto the material. Can be quite fiddly, so crafting does take quite a while. There you go, that's the first bit done. And then we'll do another one as well. Through the leaf. Through the bit of knitting. And then onto the material. We'll add a few more of those. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some of this raffia. It's fairly straightforward. I'll also add on a bit more of the cheap netting as well, just to help bulk it out. Pop that a little bit in there. Obviously this is quite a large bit for a small bit of material, but on a suit it looks pretty good. And then what you can do with the raffia is you can tear it up into little bits. Not too much, because you want this one to look more like twigs. And then we shall add on some of the green raffia as well. Put this through here. And then this you can tear up as much as you like. I love this stuff because you can get it in massive bulks. You don't use it all. Really effective stuff for grass. So lastly, I'm going to add on an oak leaf in the middle just to break it up. Obviously when crafting a suit, you won't need to use this much material. This is all quite close together, especially with the North Mountain suit, as they've got those strips in, which adds quite a lot to the suit already. So you won't need to add as much. Depends what sort of suit you've got and obviously your budget. That sort of breaks up the leaves. Right, so I'm just going to add a few finishing touches to the area. Okay, there you go. So I've bugged it out a little bit more. And then lastly, we're going to add a hairband. And that'll help add some more in on game day. Help you blend in with the local environment. Just that little bit extra. So to do that, we'll put the zip tie in. Fortunately, this material, the holes are quite small, so it's quite fiddly to get the zip ties through. But once you've got that in, like so, you then grab your hairband, pop it in the middle, do the zip tie up, and you've got like a little bow, and you've got 2 holes there. Add in any material. The last thing you want to do is to cut off the remaining of the zip ties. And there you have it, a small section crafted, a few leaves, a bit of cheap netting, some raffia and a hairband. Thank you ever so much for watching, hope you enjoyed and keep up to date with all my new videos coming out.